All right, welcome race fans. Welcome to Next Level Racing Series Season 2, Tuesday night. This is July the 11th. We are at Pocono. This is StockCarSimRacing.com and TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. I'm going to be bringing you the action tonight from the Next Level Racing Series. These guys are currently in their qualification session. We are following the 71 car, Jim Bearsoff, as he makes his qualification attempt. These guys are going to qualify with everybody on the track at the same time here, and we're just doing one qualification session. So make sure we've got everything working correctly. We're going to jump back here to the 83 car of Don Kelligrew and watch him turn a lap. Give you an idea of what we got here on tap. It's the wrong one, sorry. Next week we will be at Michigan International Raceway. 3 wide, 4 wide action there at Michigan. And following that we'll be at Sonoma on July 25th. Then Big Daytona on August the 1st. Followed by Kentucky August the 8th, New Hampshire on the August 15th, Indianapolis Motor Speedway on August the 22nd, back to Pocono on August the 29th, and then finishing out the season at a road course, Watkins Glen, on September the 5th. So that's what we got in store for the Next Level Racing Series. Currently we are in qualification session. Right now we're on board the Paul Brown machine, number 70 car. So he makes his lap. Fast turn 2 there. And headed down this long straightaway to turn 3. You see the grandstands there, and he's getting ready to come down the front straight to cross the start-finish line to finish up his qualification lap. Sure, our camera action's working here tonight. I know this looks sort of weird. Try to get a few things, a few unique camera shots. So we're looking at the 71 of Jim Bearsoff. So yeah, it looks like that's working. That's good. Good news. Currently, John Stanley is the only driver out on the track. See him pedal the gas there as he comes off the turn. See, the top time so far is Travis Joyner at 50.977, followed by Don Kelligrew, just 0.108 seconds back. Jim Barasoff sits in third position. Paul Brown's fourth. Ed Palumbo rounds out the top five. All right, looks like everybody's finished with their qualification attempts. So we're getting ready to go to warm-up here. We got a few minutes in warm-up. The guys are going to get final adjustments made to their vehicles and get ready for the race. All right, we're in warm-up session. Got a few minutes left here in warm-up. Waiting on a few drivers. Currently in warm-up session here with the Next Level Racing Series as they prepare for the race at Pocono this evening. riding along with the 54 of Ed Palumbo as he makes his laps. Warm-up session, getting his car tuned in. So we're slowly getting some more guys here as we approach race time. Now we're taking a look at the 2 car of John Pox. John, our only Volkswagen driver. Take a look at his machine here. Let's see. There we go. And take a look at his car. Rockstar energy drink paint scheme. Terry Killigrew was joined us this evening as well, so good luck to Terry as he makes his laps there in that Family Guy paint scheme. All right, I believe we're going to be taking the green flag. Let's see if my audio is working here.
Here they come.
Nope.
All right.
Hey, just getting things set up here. To play my
Here they come.
audios in an alternate way.
Attention, grid will.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engines!
All right, we got the command to start the engines, so we're on our way here at Pocono Raceway. $80 laps. Gonna do a rundown through the field here real quick. Starting on the pole is the number 28 of Travis Joyner. Starting in the second position is the 83 of Don Kelligrew. The 71 of Jim Barasoff starts in the third position. 70 of Paul Brown starts fourth. The 54 of Ed Palumbo starts in the fifth position. The 12 of John Stanley starts sixth. The 2 of John Pox starts in the seventh position. The 49 of Ivan Deschamps starts in the eighth position. The 20 of Terry Kelligrew starts ninth. And our 10th place position is filled by the number 72 car of Larry Jones. All right, Travis Joyner is going to lead the field here to the green flag. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me throughout the evening over the car sound, so I'm sure there's no problem right now. The cars are on the other side of the track. All right, the pace car is in. 80 laps here at Pocono in the Next Level Racing Series, Race 2.
Green flag, go, go, go!
Didn't quite get the boogity thing going, did I? All right, see the 28 car there on the inside, followed by the 83 on the outside. So it's a drag race down this straightaway here going into turn 2. Now the 28 car is able to tuck in there and take the lead. The 83 follows in second place. Right up the front of that, we'll take a look out of the back of the 28 car. Back there at the 83, Don Killigrew in that Canadian Molson Toyota Camry following in second place. Currently running third is Paul Brown in the number 70 car. Everybody's sort of getting settled in here, single file for the most part. Got some racing there in the back. Take a look at that 8 car as he tries to make his way around the 20 car. See that 20 car get down on that apron there a little bit, gets his car a little loose. Take a look out the front of the number 2 car. Looking ahead at 20 at Terry Killigrew. They enter the turn. See that 20 car slides high through turn 1. Now down that straightaway to turn 2. So it cost him a little bit of time there. Sliding high in that turn. Terry Killigrew is able to open up a little bit of a lead. Now the 2 cars got a good run through turn 2 and decides to back off here going into turn 3. So that 2 car of John Pox racing pretty hard here with the 20 car of Terry Killigrew. They both follow John Stanley here on lap 4. You can see the slightly different lines here. We'll see how that affects their corner exit. And it looks like the 20 car was able to get a little bit better exit coming out. Excuse me. Now, as I was saying, the 20 car looked like he got a little bit of a better exit out of that turn. But that race is tightened back up here between the 20 car and Terry Killigrew, who's now working on the back of John Stanley's car. So Terry Killigrew looking to take over that spot, and he does get around the 12 car, and also the 2 car of John Pox is going to follow through. But this is a very tight battle here. Look out the back of Terry Killigrew's car. You can see John Pox right there on the back end as they battle for position on lap 5. So again, Terry is getting in a little bit harder into the turn, but that has cost him some speed. John Pox now has disappeared. It looks like he warped in front of Terry. Well, that's one way to do it. Just the 20 car may have blinked out. Follow the 28 car here as he continues to extend his lead. He's 1.47 1.474 seconds up on Don Kelligrew. Back here and look at this 8th position. This is Larry Jones in that Hammer Down Racing Pontiac. See motors that car down into the turn. See John Stanley running just behind. John Pox in the 2 car just ahead. See how the 2 car is able to open up quite a bit of a lead there coming out of that turn over the 72 car. Looking up the front of the 72 car, you can see the 2. John Pox just ahead, and in front of him is the 20 of Terry Kelligrew as they race for position there on lap 7. Whoa, and you see Larry Jones gets a little bit tight there. Loses the grip and then slides up into the wall. Now he's going to let the 49 go around him. So John Stanley able to pass for position there. Larry Jones. Larry Jones, I guess, is the one who went around. Let's take a look at that again. If I got the right incident here. See these guys battling for position. I think the 72 car was just trying to get out of the way. John Stanley, I guess, gets into that wall, gets into that turn quite fast and slides that car up high. So that's not exactly the one I was looking for. So we're back on board here with Larry Jones. Just hoping to get that incident, but missed it. Nonetheless, I think he slid his car up into the wall. See John Pox there having some problems. He's now going to give up that 7th place position to Larry Jones. Looking up the back of Larry's car now, you can see John Pox there. Falling back to 8th position. You see that temperature there up in the top left, 27 degrees Celsius. It's quite warm. So that definitely affects how these cars are going to handle. A little bit warmer here. We're looking at just a shad over 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Definitely going to affect how these cars behave. You can see cars are starting to get a little loose. Take a look at our leader here at Travis Joyner. He continues to extend his lead. He's 4.5 seconds up. John Stanley's gone off track here. We're going to see what happened to John. So he just decided to pull his car into, I think you remember yeah, it looks like John has just decided to retire his machine. Sorry to see that for John. A tight battle here. Paul Brown, Ed Palumbo, Don Kelligrew all battling for position. And you see Don Kelligrew give up 2nd position and then 3rd position. Paul Brown and Ed Palumbo able to get around. So this battle here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Paul Brown's able to extend his lead. He's got 6/10 of a second lead over the 3rd place machine of Ed Palumbo. Jump back here and look at that 54 car. Currently 5.9 seconds back. He and the 83 car are battling for position. The 54 was able to get around him, Don, just a few laps ago. And now still running pretty tight here. Looking at the back of the 54 mellow yellow Chevy. See how he gets into this turn and throughout the course here compared to the 83 car. So the 83 car might have made a little bit of contact with the wall as he entered that turn. And he is going to slide high and lose a little bit of ground to the 54. Seems to be getting through that turn somewhat better here on lap 13 compared to the 83 of Don Kellegrew. Here they go through turn 2. And 83 car is able to close that gap. Looks like the 83 car might be a little bit better here in turn 2 than the 54. And now we're going to go to turn 3 here to set up that long straightaway across the start-finish line. Looks like the 54 car might be a little bit better there through turn 3. So here on lap 14, the 54 of Ed Palumbo working on the maintaining the 3rd position. Back here and look at our 5th place machine. Haven't talked too much about Jim Barasoff this evening, but the Bud Light machine having a solid run so far here in 5th position. It's currently running 10.1 seconds back from the leader. And while we're looking out the back here, looking out the front, you can see the 3 runners there in front of him. They'd be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Running to Jim Barasoff. So he's 2 seconds back, 2.2 seconds back from that 83 car of Don Kellegrew. You see him get a little loose as he comes off that turn. He was tight and then tried to correct, and now it was loose as well. And he seems to be fighting that car just a little bit through the turns, but then again, you know, we're looking at temperatures that are a little bit warmer. The track's starting to rubber up here, so the car is going to be a little looser. Getting word that that 20 car of Terry Kellegrew unfortunately has decided not to continue. Some of these guys are having some issues here, struggling with grip, and struggling with handling at this track. Jump back here and look at this 72 car. I'm sure where he had some issues there coming off the turn. See if my replay is working. I think this might be a little bit after it actually happened, so take a look at the 70 car and see if he has some issues coming off this turn. I think it was a little bit earlier than this. Yeah, he appears to be okay here. I don't know how much that's actually dropping back, but So we're running now with a 28 car. Travis Joyner, as he continues to lead. He has a 6.9 second lead over the second place machine of Ed Palumbo. So Ed Palumbo is able to make a pass here. Ed Palumbo and Don Kellegrew able to make a pass there for second and third. I'm going to jump back here and look at that pass from Ed, hopefully. Looks like we've already seen it. Sometimes this thing has a mind of its own. Let me try it again. Nope. Yeah, I apologize. Sometimes the replay does not want to cooperate. I think it might be a track-specific thing. But right now, following the 28 car, 7.9 seconds up on the rest of the field. Second place is the 54 of Ed Palumbo here on lap 19. I think we're running 1X tires here, 1X fuel, so we're going to have probably an extended run. Running in the third position is the 83 of Don Kellegrew. These guys have pretty much run together all night long. That third car there in the trilogy is the 70 of Paul Brown. Currently running in the fourth position. And a guy that seems to be running them down a little bit, of course they got a little racy, is the 71 here in fifth position. 71 of Jim Barasoff. He's got that Bud Light Chevy just about to, looks like he's about 2 seconds back of Don Kellegrew. Paul Brown tired his machine. I don't think he was liking the setup too much. The 70 of Paul Brown has just given up the fourth position. Again, we were looking at some issues with handling. You know, it's a tough setup. Tough conditions at the track here, with being a little warmer, and Pocono is a tough track regardless of what kind of conditions you have and what setup you have. This is a tough track. Certainly can't forget where you are on the race course, because you've got 3 different turns here. They're all different from one another, and the car changes so much throughout the run that you really got to stay on top of it. And when you have a setup that's not you know, just cut to perfection, then you're going to have even more problems. And that appears to be what's happening this evening. So right now, Travis Joyner has an 8-second lead on the second place car of Ed Palumbo. 7 cars left in this race. Ready to jump back here and take a look at the 7th place machine of Ivan Deschamps, that Wolf Racing Chevy. Ivan is currently 32 seconds back. Not quite a full lap, but still on the lead lap here. Now, one guy that I skipped here, and we got to Jim Barasoff when he was in 5th, and then we broke away to follow the Paul Brown machine as he retired. The 72 car now, Valerie Jones, is now in 5th position. He's 15 seconds back. In 6th position is the 12 of John Stanley, 29 seconds back. And of course, we just talked about the 49 of Ivan Deschamps. He's running in the 7th position. Looking up here at the 28 car. Again, leading the field, 8.1 seconds ahead. Pretty spread out race. I think the tightest battle on the field is that battle for second place is between the 83 car and the 54. Running together there, they've been able to maintain a 2-second lead over Jim Barasoff, and you know, that gap between the second place car and the first place car of Travis Joyner has remained somewhere around 8 seconds, about 5 or 6 laps or so. Well, we're going to use this time here to talk a little bit about what we have coming up here this week. Of course, tonight, it's the Next Level Racing Series. Current standings, we'll cover what the current standings are here. The current point standings, Matt Sintel sits in first place. Matt's not here this evening, so he will undoubtedly drop down from that position. Travis Joyner is in second, 6 points back. Jim Barasoff's 7 points back. This is after one race. Don Kelligrew is 8 points back, and then rounding out the top 5 is John Stanley, just 9 points back. Of course, that's going to be reflective of what we see here in the standings of that first race. Dover, Matt Sintel was able to come away with the win there. So congratulations to Matt. Travis Joyner second, Jim Barasoff third, Don Kelligrew fourth, and John Stanley rounded out the top 5 for that. So congratulations to Matt on his victory last weekend at Dover. I guess that would be on the Monday of last week, because the July 4th was the Tuesday, so they ran this race on Monday. Format here for the Next Level Racing Series is 1X tires, 1X fuel, 75% damage, fixed setup. Qualification format's 3-round knockout qualification. We modified that this evening for the number of drivers. We just did 1 round. There is a tire rule here that I did not put on here, but the tire rule is you start with 4 on the car and you get 12 more tires. And I don't think guys are going to really need that. We don't see anything close to something resembling a yellow flag. So guys seem to be running pretty solid right now and not worried too much about tire wear. So we are approaching lap 27. We're on 26 right now, so we just turned over to 27. Leaders cross the line. So still on the same set of tires. Guys haven't made pit stops yet. All right, let's talk about what else we have coming up here. So Texas Motor Speedway in the Ironman Racing Series that comes up tomorrow night, July 12th. Practice starts at 8 o'clock. Racing will start roughly around 9 o'clock. Fixed setup. They also have a tire rule there. And the tire rule is that you get 4 tires to start the race, and you get 8 additional tires. So it's going to be an interesting race. They're 2 and 3 wide there at Texas, no doubt. So that's coming up on Wednesday night. On Friday, the High Octane Racing League Friday night series will be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So that's July 14th. Practice starts at 7 p.m. Racing will start at 8:15. In that series, we had 2 30-lap heat races, at least for this race, 2 30-lap heat races followed by the 70-lap points race. And in the Friday night series, the winners of the 2 heat races determine the front row for the 70-lap points race. Qualifications will be before the 70-lap points race will determine places 3 on back. So that's coming up on Friday night. Saturday night, the Daytona International Speedway race by the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. So those boys will be there for 100 laps, 75% damage, and you know that's going to be a lot of action, 2 wide, maybe even 3 wide, so a lot of drafting, going to be some friends, going to be some frenemies after the night's over. So that's going to be coming up on Saturday night, July 15th. Racing starts at 9:45. So a lot of racing here at StockCarSimRacing.com. My pleasure. I'm Heath Johnson. It's my pleasure to bring you these races and part of TurnLeftTV. Thank you for joining us. Currently following the second place machine of Ed Palumbo. He is starting to close that gap. Take a look at the 28 car, who's been our race leader since the start. 7.6 seconds up on the second place car, Ed Palumbo. Well, we're getting word that Jim Barasov's come into the pits, so he's making his pit stop. You can see the other three cars there that have retired their machines. So Jim comes off the pits here. Makes his pit stop, so that's CT Racing Bud Light Chevy. Now comes out here and he gets passed by, I believe, the leader, Travis Joyner, so Jim Barasov's gone a lap down, but then again, he has just made his pit stop, and these other guys have not made pit stops. So the 71, Jim Barasov, pretty smooth pit stops. And the 12 car, we're getting word that he's also made his pit stop, I believe. Take a look, and I'll tell you what will tell us that. Yes, so John Stanley has come into the pits. You see the number of pit stops made there. John Stanley currently running one lap down. There we go. '54 car, we're hearing the 54 car is coming in for a pit stop, so we're going to be watching him as he currently, you see that he's 7.3 seconds back. So Ed Palumbo, currently running in the second position, is going to be making a pit stop. You see just behind him is that 83 car of Don Kelligrew. So it will be interesting to see how that gap changes as both, I should say, Don Kelligrew, Ed Palumbo, and Travis Joyner all make pit stops here. So now we're following the 54 car as he comes down pit lane, makes his pit stop. As he slides his car into the pits. So the 54 taking service here on lap 32. I don't see that left side coming up here, so he is just taking right side tires, I believe. So interesting move by the 54 car, just taking two tires. So the leader, Travis Joyner, is now making his pit stop. So remember, that lead was about 7.4 seconds. So now the 28 car, our race leader, has come into the pits. So it's going to be interesting to see what Travis Joyner decides to do as far as tires. So we see that he's taken, now we're getting word that the 83 car might be coming in. So you see Travis, don't believe that left side's coming up. So he's also just taken two tires. Well, maybe his right side or left side did come up. I might be wrong on that. Don Kelligrew going to make his pit stop here. So looking out the front of his car as he gets on the brakes, trying to get his car slowed up so he can make it down pit lane here and not speed. So that's definitely something you do not want to happen here, is to speed. So So the 83 car making his pit stop here. Take a look at his stop. Again, I do not see that left side coming up, so I think he just changed 2 tires as well. So Don Killigrew just doing a right side tire change. And you see now the the first place car of Ed Palumbo's had quite a bit better pit stop than Travis Joyner, but then he's been out an extra lap, so we'll be curious to see where that 49 car's having some issues. See if we can't get a look at that. See Don Kelliger gets back out on the track and see that 49 car gets gets his car down on the apron and gets a little loose. Fortunately, did not cause a caution. Able to get that car going. Our current race leader is the 54 car of Ed Palumbo. He's got 4/10 of a second lead on the 28 car of Travis Joyner. See Travis Joyner starting to look on the outside. That 54 car gets a little bit loose. Travis Joyner is able to take that lead. Take a look at that. Hopefully I get that replay. Oh. Take a look at that pass. So Travis Joyner is able to reclaim the lead there. Try that again another way. There we go. We got her working. So we're going to see that 28 car. You see the 50 car gets a little bit loose, and the 28 car is able to get around, recapture the lead here on lap 36. So you see now Travis Joyner is able to pull away to a 1.2 second lead as we approach halfway. Now again, I think both of these guys may have just changed 2 tires. I'm not 100% sure about the 28 car. I think that I may have seen his left side go up. Be nice if we could actually see that in this game. So many things they need to add to this game. Damage model, pit crews. See the 28 car gets kind of high, very, very close to the very close to the wall. So the 54 car did take 2 tires. The 28 took 4, so that 28 car is now able to pull away on those 4 fresh tires. And we'll take a look at the 83 car, who's 6.1 seconds off the lead. I believe he also may have just changed 2 tires. So it'll be kind of curious to see how his times follow through here. Right now he's got about a 3.6 second lead over the 71 car, the 4th place car of Jim Barasoff. I think Jim may have taken 4 tires here, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects the 83's car, his times with respect to the 71 car. following along here with Ivan Deschamps as he's currently shown 1 lap down. Saw Ivan a little bit earlier get down into the grass down below the yellow line there, get his car a little squirrely. Seems to be having his car handle okay now. Well, with John Stanley running in the 6th position now after pit stops. He's currently 43.2 seconds back. Still on the lead lap. Last car in the lead lap, and you can hear him pedal the gas as he comes off the turn. So we're going to jump in his car and see if we can't hear any when he gets loose. You see him stomping the gas there, just stabbing a little bit. Again, he has to get out of the gas to keep from getting into the wall there as he comes off turn 3. So John Stanley currently chasing his car. See him veer to the right there, so some handling issues for John. You see him get up way up high there, and I don't know if he has damage, but he's definitely having some handling issues. That's through turn 1 there. He was able to, has to get out of the gas considerably to be able to keep that car from riding into the wall. So he may need a right front tire. And riding pretty slow there. That is a high-speed turn, so he's having some handling issues. So John Stanley might need to come into the pits to get repairs done to his car, at least get some new tires. Travis Joyner now looking to put that 12 car lap down. See a 12 car just now going into turn 3. So we hear Travis Joyner gets out of the throttle and also drops that car down into 3rd gear going into I said that was turn 3, that was turn 1. This should be turn 2 here. So we heard Travis Joyner, the leader of the race, downshift into 3rd gear in turn 1. Now if this comes down to a fuel mileage race, he might be at a disadvantage here because he's running a higher RPM down there in 3rd gear. So let's take a look at what we got. As we go down into turn 1, is he going to drop that down? Yes, he does. So he drops that, drops down into 3rd gear to navigate through turn 1. Interesting strategy by the 28 car. Seems to be working. He's got a 5.1 second lead on the 83 of Don Kelligrew. So Don Kelligrew is able to take over that 2nd place position from Ed Palumbo, and we're going to take a look at that pass. So you see Ed pulls over here down the straight and lets that 83 car go. Again, Ed, I believe, just took 2 tires. The 83 took 4. Able to make that pass. There again, turn 1, you can hear the 28 car downshift as he goes through turn 1. Again, so far his strategy, it seems to be paying off. I don't know if he's been doing that all night long, but certainly into this run, into the 2nd run here after pit stops, employing that strategy, and that seems to be working for him. So he's up to a 6-second lead on the remainder of the field. See the 28 car as he makes his pass on the 12 car to put him a lap down. You see that 12 car getting a little bit squirrely as he comes off the turn. Now he's jumped down, and John Stanley slams into the wall there. Having trouble finding John Stanley. I don't know why. There we go. You thought I had him. Oh, John Stanley's retired his car, I believe. Maybe not. Yep, so John Stanley's retired his machine. I happened to just get him as he retired. Kind of confused me there for a second. So John Stanley had gotten into the wall, sustained some damage. We saw that he was having some handling issues. Having some handling issues earlier on. Got into the wall as the 28 car got around, putting the lap down, and retired his machine. '54 cars having some more handling issues here as he deals with just 2 tires. 71 and Jim Barasoff is going to pass him on the high side here. So the 54 realizing that his car being on 2 tires only, not quite as fast as the 71. So the 71 car now moves up to the 3rd position. So far, no cautions. '71 here, we're following the Bud Light Chevy. Woo. Ed Palumbo makes a brilliant save there as he comes off the turn. We'll take a look at that pass, and then we're going to see Ed Palumbo chase his car. Take a look at that again. Is going to be out of the front of the 72 machine. You see that 54 car just gets sideways. Larry Jones is able to go by there, so that 54 car of Ed Palumbo is probably going to have to think about making a pit stop here. Now we're looking at the 72 of Larry Jones as he runs in the 4th position. Back here taking a look at the 54 car as he pedals his car around. And right now, I think the 54 is probably wishing, Ed's probably wishing that he had taken 4 tires on that. So you see that car gets a little bit out of balance there coming off the turn. So Ed Palumbo has gotten his hands full here, and we'll see if he's working this wheel as he gets through the turn. And he's taking that pretty easy, but you hear him pedal the gas here. He's just trying not to lose the balance of the car as he makes it through the turn. So that's turn 2. Now coming out of turn 3 here, and you see maybe the back end of that car is wanting to swing around. So the 54 car having some issues with handling right now because he's on old tires. So he has not changed his left side tires yet. 49 laps in. Battle that's heating up here on the track. Battle between the 71 car and the 72 car. So right now the 71 car is up in 3rd position. 72 car of Larry Jones sits in the 4th position. And you see just ahead of them is the 83 of Don Killigrew, who's in 2nd position. So we have 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here all together on the track. Currently following the 72 car. Larry Jones starting to move forward there. He's shown in a Chevy, but we know that paint scheme is that old Pontiac Trans Am scheme. Looks like the 72 car is going to be able to make that pass on the 71 here, going down the straightaway. 71 pulls over, lets that 72 go. He realizes the 72's caught him and a lot faster here right now. Just doesn't want to, it's still pretty early on here. We're just past halfway. So the 72 car marching forward now finds himself in the 3rd position. Getting word that Ivan Deschamps has now made his pit stop here. So the 49 car taking service. Get to the right look on him. There we go. 49 car must have sustained a little bit of damage because he's been into the pits for quite a while here, so you hear him shut his car down. So that 49 car shuts his car off, so he is looking to repair some damage. Didn't want to blow up his car. If you leave your car running in the pits there idling, your car gets hot and blows up. So taking a look at this battle here now, heating up here for 2nd place. Currently the 83 car has it. The 72 car is on his way. So the 72 car starting to pick off some of these guys up front. Saw him make a pass on the 54 car a little while ago, and then now he's gotten around that 71 car, and now he's working on the 83 car to take over the 2nd place position. So Larry Jones moving forward. See the 83 is going to fight back there, and then thinks better of it. Take a look at that 72 car as he enters the turn. Just get an idea where the 83 and the 71 are. So Larry Jones starting to make some moves here. He's worked his way up to the 2nd place position. So that Hammer Down Racing Chevy running well tonight here in the 2nd half of the race. So our race leader, 53 laps in, is the 28 car Travis Joyner. So far been caution free. Don't want to jinx it, but nobody caused the caution. So we've had 54, well, we're starting our 54th green flag laps. And again, you can hear that 28 car drop his gears down to 3rd gear when he enters turn 3, or excuse me, turn 1. .49 now coming back out on the track after taking service. So the 49 car had a sustained pit stop here to repair some damage. Now making his way back out on the track. Probably feels a lot better about his car now that he's got it repaired. You got to remember that we are at 75% damage, so there's only so much that your pit crew can do. Take a look at our format here. So remember that the damage, we have 1X tires, 1X fuel, but the damage is at 75%, so that's pretty significant. Last season we were at 50%. So we bumped it up a little bit. So the 49 car has repaired his damage. He's back out on the track making some laps here, and is 5 laps down. Currently right along here following the 28 car, who has a 12.5 second lead on the 2nd place car of Larry Jones. So remember, this is all part of TurnLeftTV's effort to provide you with some racing. I'm your host. I produce the broadcast and do the narrating. also mentioned all these racing series that we happen to be broadcasting so far are part of StockCarSimRacing.com. We're on Tuesday night. We race just about every night of the week. Take a look at the standalone banner here. There we go. We race every night of the week except for Mondays and Thursdays. So tomorrow night's the Ironman Racing Series. Friday night, High Octane Racing League Friday Night Series, and then the Saturday night is the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. And we race twice on Sundays here at StockCarSimRacing.com. 57 laps in, Travis Joyner has command of this race. 13 seconds up on the 72 of Larry Jones. The battle that's heating up here on the track is that battle for third position. So 71 car Jim Barasoff following the 83 of Don Kelligrew. Take a look at Don's car here. We're going to look out the back of Don's car. You can see Jim Barasoff in the 71 car just behind. He's starting to work on the back of that 83 machine. So later in this run, that 71 car seems to be a little bit better. Be able to close the gap there on the 83. So again, this battle is for third position. So you can see the 83 car sort of pedals his car as he exits that turn. He gets a little bit loose. He has to chase his car, and now that 71 car has got to run. He's going to think about going around him in the turn and then backs off. So the 83 car is starting to chase his car a little bit. We're going to jump in his car and watch him make some laps here. Let's get an idea of how much he's fighting this. Seems to be okay there coming out of through turn 3. Had a pretty smooth, pretty flawless turn 3, especially on old tires. Now you can hear that the 83 car is not downshifting when he is in. Now he's chasing that car. You see him chasing that car up the turn there in turn 1, and it really pedal the gas. So he's tight and then he's loose. Now through turn 2 here. Again, typically a pretty high speed turn, and you can see he gets just a little bit loose there about 2/3 of the way through that turn. And now we're going to go back into turn 3, and he was pretty, and so the last lap it was a little bit better through turn 3. About the middle of the turn there, he had to get out of the gas. So the 83 car starting to have to work his magic there a little bit. On those old tires. And if you see the track temperature or the air temperature is heated up here to 29 degrees Celsius. Here, that the 71 car may be making a pit stop. So the 71 was able to close that gap on the 83, but in the last few laps has lost ground to the third place car of Don Kelligrew. Now the 71 car is going to come in, probably done with those tires, and he's ready to take 4 tires here and get back out on the track. So Jim Barasoff making a pit stop here on lap 61. And you see the 54 car of Ed Palumbo coming in just behind. So we're looking out the back of the Jim Barasoff machine, and you can see the 54 of Ed Palumbo as he makes his pit stop. 28, we're here in the 28, maybe making a pit stop as well. So we're going to watch this battle here in the pits. So the 71 pitting in the 2 stalls ahead of Ed Palumbo. So I suspect that Ed's not going to make that decision to take 2 tires. And you see the 71 taking 4 tires, and we're going to take a look at that 54 also taking 4 tires. So both these guys are going to take 4 tires and fuel. 71 able to get out here just a little bit better. So the 28 car coming into the pits surrenders the lead here to Larry Jones. So the first laps that Larry Jones has led this evening. 72 car is yet to make a pit stop here, and he is currently our race leader. And you see the 71 coming back out on the track. So that 71 car coming back out on the track after making a pit stop. The 54, not sure what happened there, but the 54 was able to get around 71, so we're going to have to see what happened there. So we see Jim Barasoff having some trouble there on the apron. The 54 is able to get around, so we'll take another look at that. So the 71 car almost loses that car on the apron, and the 54 is able to get around. So Jim Barasoff had a really good pit stop, and then sort of unfortunately had some issues coming back out on the track, transitioning from that flat part of the track back up onto the racing surface. Got his car a little bit loose. Hasn't hurt him too bad. I mean, he's in the 5th position. I don't believe the 83 car has made his pit stop yet. So we're hearing now the 72 car might be making his pit stop. So the 72, Larry Jones, going to make his pit stop and undoubtedly will surrender the lead when he comes in. So Larry Jones trying to get his car woed up. See that 71 coming down pit lane here, making his pit stop. And I suspect we're going to see 4 tires and fuel. See that left side come up, so we know he's going to get 4 tires. So the 72 car, I called him the 71 car, the 72 car, Larry Jones making his pit stop here, coming back out on the racing surface with 4 fresh tires. Our race leader now is the 83 car of Don Killigrew, who is not pitted. So again, we're looking at 16 laps to go now. On lap 65 here of 80, and the 83 car waiting to make his pit stop. And I got to be wondering here, since you're not going to get a full use of these tires, what the motivation is for coming in a little bit later with only about 15, 16 laps to go. Because right now these guys that have pitted are really cutting in that or gaining ground on him. So is he going to be able to get enough use out of waiting and getting those fresh tires? Is he going to have enough time to make use of those fresh tires? That's the question. So right now, Travis Joyner, who has made his pit stop, is 19 seconds back. And I would bet that that's going to come off pretty quickly. So now it's 18.3 seconds back. So he's making up ground in a hurry. So right now, following the 83 car, and he is yet to make a pit stop. So we're going to see how you see him pedaling that car as he starts to get up high there and almost gets into the wall. So really chasing his car. So now the 83 car has decided he's had enough, and he's going to come into the pits. So he did a really good job there of conserving and making the most out of those tires that he had. But now he's going to have to come in and get 4 fresh tires. Maybe he's just going to change 2. That'd be an interesting strategy. We're going to watch this pit stop here for the 83 of Don Killigrew. You see Don gets a little bit squirrely as he comes into the pits. I should have had that on the trackside view. That would have been good. So we're watching the 83 cars. He makes his pit stop here. Travis Joyner just goes by there and reclaims the lead. So Don Killigrew, let's see if he changes 4 tires or if he's just going to change 2 tires. He might be forced, given the number of laps here, just to change 2 tires. So he's still in the 2nd position. So we're going to see. No, he's changing 4 tires. So Don Killigrew going to change all 4 tires here. So again, how's that going to help him? We'll see if he has enough time to make use of those tires as he comes back out onto the racing surface after making his pit stop. Travis Joyner, 19-second lead on the 72 of Larry Jones. So Travis Joyner is our leader. 13 laps to go. It's going to be interesting to see here, especially on fresh tires, is the 28 car going to downshift, and I didn't hear him downshift there, so maybe that's something he's doing a little bit later in the run, but I did not hear the 28 Travis Joyner downshift into turn 1 like he had been doing. And we're following along here turn 2, and it seems to be a pretty smooth turn. Running very close to the wall. Again, right now, just making some laps and not wanting to do anything crazy. He's got 12 laps to go. Again, now as we come down into turn 1, let's see how that, if he changes down into 3rd gear. Again, decided to stay into 4th gear on that on this round. There's at least the first few laps here of these after pit stop. Travis Joyner continues to lead the way, and we're going to jump back here and look at this battle between Jim Barasoff and Ed Palumbo. Pretty close battle here on the track. I'd say about a half a second. So we'll take a look at the front of Jim Barasoff's machine. There we go. You can see Ed Palumbo just up there ahead. Now remember, Ed decided to take 4 tires here this time. I think it was a hard lesson learned on that last pit stop where he only took 2. But now he's worked his way back up to 3rd position. So these guys are battling for 3rd position. Jim Barasoff running in 4th right now. And Palumbo up there in the 3rd position. So we'll see how this battle unfolds here in the closing laps of this race. Just about 10 to go. We'll jump up here and look at Ed Palumbo's machine, 54. Now we're going to take a look out of the back of his car. Sooner or later, there we go. He's going to look out the back of his car. That 71 at Jim Barasoff, who is just about a second down, about 9/10 of a second. Looks like Ed was able to open up a little bit more distance on him. Not much. It's probably going to change from one turn to the next. It's so close. So that 54 car running in the 3rd position, 26 seconds back. Larry Jones is cutting into that lead. So we'll take a look at that that 72 car running in the 2nd position. He is cutting into that lead, Travis Joyner, but then, you know, you got to wonder, is Travis just saying, hey, I know I'm just going to run my laps, not going to push this car too hard. I've got a 17-second lead, 8 laps to go. And you see the 49 See the 49 running just behind Travis Joyner there. Take a look at that 49 car. So Travis said, oh, the 49 gets into the wall. So that 49 car gets into the wall pretty hard. Makes contact with the wall after the 28 car goes around. So the 49 car of Ivan Deschamps gets hard into the wall in the closing laps of this race. Ivan currently running in the 6th position. Don't know if I can back it up far enough. Nope. So Ivan Deschamps is going to have to make a pit stop there. '49 car going to have to make a pit stop to repair that damage. We're hearing that he's coming into the pits here in the closing laps of this race. 28 car currently continues to lead, 15.7 seconds ahead of the 72 of Larry Jones. We're looking at 7 laps to go. '49 car coming in. You see the 83 car coming by on the outside. That 49 car making a pit stop, and you see him hard on the brakes to try to get his car slowed down to pace speed. I believe the pace speed is 50 miles an hour. So at this track, that is a snail's pace. So the 49 car going to come in, repair his damage, and get back out on the track here to finish up the race. Go back here and look at this battle between that 54 and the 71. It's starting to heat up here in the on lap 74. She's got 6 laps to go. Looking back out of the back of Ed Palumbo's car, and you can see the 71 has closed that gap and is right there on the back end of Ed Palumbo. Again, Ed's able to get through turn 2 just a little bit better than the 71 car. See, he gets in kind of hard there into turn 3. The 54 is able to open up a little bit of a gap there coming down the front straight. So it's about a half a second right now on lap 75. Look out the front of Jim Barasoff's machine, and we'll see Ed Palumbo there just ahead in the 3rd position. So both these guys having solid races here, running in the 3rd and 4th positions. Again, you can see Ed just a little bit better through turn 2. I think we'll see Jim Barasoff close up here in turn 3. And both seem to be getting through pretty equally. Jim Barasoff might have an advantage there just a little bit in turn 3. But a few laps, we've seen Ed Palumbo have the advantage through turn 2. You go down into turn 1, see him slightly different line. So Ed's going to take that higher line, he's able to get on the gas maybe a little bit earlier than the 71 car, but 71 closes the gap even more. So this is a tight battle here for position. 3 laps to go. In the 74 and the 54, and they both slam off the wall. They both hit the wall. Kind of a follow the leader there. That both of these guys hit the wall there, and they are reporting that they have damage. So that 54 and that 71 car fighting damage now. So man, they were got basically 3 laps to go, just a little over 3 laps to go, and both the 71 and the 54 have made contact with the wall in the later stages of this race. Looking at the 72 cars, he's 15.3 seconds back. Larry Jones looking to finish in the 2nd position. So that Pontiac Trans Am, number 72, having a good solid night and looking to wrap up second place here. So we've been caution free. 28 car. Solid pit stops all night. Not having to chase his car too much, changing 4 tires each time. Seem to have this joint worked out here, and running on lap 78, so we're approaching 2 laps to go. So just 2 laps to go here for the 28 car. We're back here and look at trials and tribulations of the 54 cars. He's again chasing his car, and you can see that he must have gotten a little bit better deal, I guess less damage than the 71 car, because he's able to open up that gap. 5th place car of Don Kellegrew. First car 1 lap down. He's been chasing his car a little bit this evening. Currently running in the 5th position. And back up here with our leader, lap 79, Travis Joyner. So our Next Level Racing Ford, sponsored by Haviland. On this last lap, so he's just got a few turns to go. 2 to be exact. Now that he's made it through turn 1. Travis Joyner, our Mount Vernon, Illinois native. Rounding through turn 2 here, high speed turn as he makes his, you see him come off the wall a little bit, so maybe things are not over. So that celebration a little bit early maybe to 28 car making his final turn off turn 3, coming down the straightaway. So the 28 car is going to be able to win this race. So congratulations to Travis Joyner, Mount Vernon, Illinois native. Brings that Haviland Ford Fusion to victory lane here at Pocono. So no caution flags. Travis Joyner has solid pit stops all night long. Kept his car out of trouble. Able to just run nice, smooth laps, hit all his marks, and able to bring his car around in the first position here. So we're taking a look at the 28 cars. He makes his does his burnout there. So congratulations to Travis. He's going to burn those tires off, I'm sure. I think we got it. I think we got the idea there. Good job, Travis Joyner. So good celebration. He's done burnouts before, I'm sure. Let's see if we can't get Travis up here for an in-car interview or a post-race interview. So just give me a minute. All right, we're going to work on getting Travis Joyner up here, so we appreciate you being patient with us. So take a look at Travis's car, and we'll pull him up here. Just give me a minute. All right, as we wait for Travis to return, he's talking to his crew chief and team owner, getting their congratulations, probably having him a beverage. We're going to take a look at what the point standings were coming into this race. So we see that Travis Joyner was in second place, Jim Barasoff in third, Don Kelligrew in fourth. So Matt Santel was our leader. Now with this race there, that's undoubtedly going to put Travis Joyner on top of the NLRS Next Level Racing Series standings here. So word has it, we've got Travis Joyner with us, so we'll be back here in just a second. Get him on the line for us. All right, Travis Joyner. So welcome to the broadcast booth, and congratulations. Talk a little bit about the setup there that you were handling throughout the race.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it definitely is a handful. We had to work it tonight and just really had to go into turn one a lot differently than what we're used to, and couldn't really carry the speed that we're used to doing here, and just a matter of wasn't a matter of it wouldn't do it. Just you just tear the front right tire up. I don't know what tire combination NASCAR gave us here, but yeah, it's a little different. We had to take care of it, and I think that's where we kind of excelled above everyone else. I think they were kind of wearing the front right tire.
Yeah, one thing I noticed you were doing early in the evening was that you were downshifting into turn one. So talk a little bit about that strategy.
Yeah, once the tire wear started to wear off a little bit and the speeds got slower, I felt that one, it gave me better acceleration off the turn, but two, it was allowing me to get a little bit more heat in my right rear, which was keeping my car more balanced. My tire wear, front to rear. So yeah, more acceleration and more.
And as the track temperature and the ambient temperature went up, how'd that change your car?
Well, actually, the longer the race went on, as it got hotter, the car actually felt better. At the beginning of the night, it was a little on the tight side, which was, part of what was causing the front right wear problem. But as the heat got up and as the more rubber got laid down, it started loosening the car up a bit. Started feeling really good. And, last half of the race, I was kind of taking it easy because of the lead I had, but. If I had to lay some laps down, I really feel like I could put some laps down.
Well, it looks like with this win, you'll be taking over the points lead here. So how you feeling coming into Michigan next week?
Oh, I feel great. We got a good Michigan program, and Michigan's one of my favorite tracks. A lot of speed, big, roomy. We've had a lot of luck there in the past, and we did some testing there earlier this year, and I really feel like we got some.
Well, awesome. I have no doubt that the 28 machine is going to be up front there again next week, and we'd like to congratulate you again on the race win and also taking over the points lead here the second race into the season.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it, definitely. Yeah.
All right, good
Fun,
job.
that's what it's all about.
Congratulations, and take care, Travis. Till next time.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that was Travis Joyner here, and you know, you see, we're looking at Michigan of next week here in the Next Level Racing Series. So Travis Joyner comes away with our win this evening here at Pocono, a very challenging track, and seems like he had a handle on it, and was very aware of how his car was changing throughout the evening. We see he was sort of changing his strategy as he entered that turn one. They're downshifting that some of these other guys weren't doing. So really had a handle on the way his car handled here at Pocono, which is a very tough track. So again, they'll be at Michigan next week. It'll be 2 and 3 wide, undoubtedly at Michigan. Very high speed, and as Travis had mentioned, that's going to be a roomy track. And we will see a lot of side-by-side racing at Michigan. So, you know, that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I know as a racer you want to really battle with guys, but man, when you're in the points lead and you see you're racing side-by-side with guys and you have just one little slip-up, and it could be disaster. So it's going to be a lot of drama here next weekend, or next week on Tuesday at Michigan. So that's the broadcast for the Next Level Racing Series effort here on Tuesday nights. And this has been Turn Left TV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and thank you so much for joining us this evening.